Oh my goodness. We're having a moment.
Maria's she's having a grievance.
I can't even, my head's chopped off, by the way. No puedo ver la cabeza.
What is this?
I wanted you guys to see
Maria is having a grievance because she thinks I don't do the lesson, which
you don't.
I have to admit I'm not doing the lesson as it says in the book, but you know I'm getting warm to it.
He's getting warm. He says he's been
doing the lessons my way. But you know, everybody's gonna get out what they're gonna get out, you know. So you know, if I wanted to have more spiritual practice and I feel the need, I need it right now, I would, you know, read the lesson for an hour a day, and I'm just not there right now. So I forgive myself.
He's been saying since week 3 or 2, or he's been saying, I'm warming up to it. So anyways, before we started the lesson, I said, I have a grievance with you. You're not doing the lessons. And then he says, I am. And I haven't seen him practicing them. So anyways, I'm going to let it go now. And go ahead, lesson 30. Dale que tú puedes.
I practice them every time I look at you, honey. Welcome to a very happy, live your happy 365. Lesson 30. There you go. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. Now, how can I not practice that lesson looking at you, honey?
He's really something today. I think he swallowed a cotorra. Cotorra means I think he swallowed a parrot. Well, I feel like the first statement that the lesson opens up with, which is the idea for today, is the springboard for vision. It's good news, because who doesn't want to have Christ's vision, you know, because the vision they're talking about in these lessons is really to see Christ's vision, to see things beyond how we're seeing them, because our vision is distorted. We're not really seeing, we have our thoughts, we have our stories, and then we supposedly have, you know, the ego's like a scavenger dog looking for evidence outside so we can be right about our thoughts and kind of coerce and distort our vision. So I like that it says the idea for today is a springboard for vision. And also I like that it says today we're trying to use a new kind of projection. We are outside. Wait. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Instead, we're trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. So I love it how it's like bringing it from like outside to inside. I think that's very powerful. Yeah.
I think so too. And funny enough, that's the same sentence I was just gonna pick out and also mention, because I think that's really what we're trying to accomplish here, I feel, is to look less from the outside, taking the protection outside and making that our world, and looking more from the inside, meaning my thoughts create the world outside, and not whatever is already outside determines my inside. There's one sentence that somebody once said to me. And it was like, in order for something to exist in form, it has to first exist in consciousness, so within. Meaning, everything you see on the outside is actually a past thought. So if I see myself going shopping at Aldi to do some groceries, that's actually a past thought, because I had that thought, whether it was 5 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago or 5 hours ago, to go to Aldi and go shopping, and now I'm here. So everything that we experience is actually past. A past thought.
You know, when you're speaking, first of all, he's burping, because of course he has to burp. That's part of this whole thing.
It was a
And
silent burp.
and-
Silent
And
burp.
second, it's like he sounds like if he's doing the lessons. He's talking like if he's doing the lessons. He's talking out of his ass.
Well, I
Just kidding.
I wasn't
Babe.
I wasn't doing the lesson, but I was still saying something that has a truthful content.
Yes.
You know, for me,
I'm just teasing you.
it's all good.
Because, we're trying to keep things
It's all
light
good.
and playful, and this doesn't have to be so serious. So those of you who are not doing the lessons, perfect, don't worry about it, because you have a little friend here that's just right there with you.
I got your back.
Right there with you.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. So going back to this, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I welcome that. I know Christian does too. We welcome that into our experience because we know how this world could be kind of tricky. So it's just very comforting to open our minds to be able to know that God is there. There's somebody that made a comment, and I can't remember the name right now. I'm sorry, but that they said it's not like you literally see God there, because that's something that you had actually talked about in another one of our videos.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy had commented, well, it's not like literal, it's more like just being open to that God is there, being open to that God is there behind the light, or is there on the couch, or be open that God is there. It's very beautiful. So that's what comes up for me too here. And by the way, you guys' comments are great. You guys,
Yeah, we really enjoy
teaching.
those comments. I think it's the first time for me that it feels like there's social media is really social, because it feels so personal of what we're creating here with this little series, and you guys comment on something that I experienced. So I don't know, it just feels very social.
and you feel very like seen.
Yeah.
We feel seen because we're doing this together.